broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, Grimm fans! Welcome back. We didn't start the fire, but there certainly was a lot of it. Yes. Thank you for joining us here on AFTERBUZZ TV. It's the Grimm After Show. Guys, if you haven't done so already, tune in. Log on to youtube.com/AFTERBUZZ TV, where you can subscribe to this and all of the AFTERBUZZ TV podcasts. You can also go onto iTunes and SoundCloud. Hit us with a review. Leave a comment. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know you guys are enjoying the show. Guys, I'm your host, Zach Wilson. Throughout the show, you can tweet at me at @ZachWilson. You can also use the hashtag ABTVGrimm. But you can also tweet at my fantastic panel. Over here we have Yael Tygiel.
Hi everybody, you can tweet at me during the show at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. I have my phone ready.
Wow. You can tweet at me whenever you want. I'm Dillon Chance. You can find me on Twitter at Dillon Chance.
So complicated, Dillon. So complicated. Guys, we're talking about trial by fire. And the quote, "And glory like the phoenix midst her fires, exhales her odors, blazes and expires."
What was that?
What was that voice?
I don't know.
I thought the voice was great.
No,
Why are
it's
you
usually
laughing?
because it's usually this like booming deep voice.
Yeah, but this one just felt like it needed, like, it wasn't like the booming. It rhymes.
Okay.
It like needed a more, yeah.
It made me giggle.
Anyone listening who wants to tell me what accent that was, I would also like to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the quote, I mean, it did sort of set up, like, I guess it was, to me, it was a little bit of a misnomer towards the episode, because I thought we were going to get, because they specifically made reference of the Phoenix.
Yes.
And they introduced the ex-Candesco. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was going to be
More
like
Phoenix-like?
Yeah, well, yeah. The main thing about a phoenix is not just that the fire, but that it is reborn through fire, which I guess we could still get at some point, but that did not seem to be the implication here.
No, I agree. I also would have liked it to be able to fly.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
like big flying, like.
We really haven't had. We have some bird Vesson, but not. They're mostly flightless.
Yeah, I wanted him to fly.
That would have been awesome
Or
if
at least
he flew.
to kind of like Iceman and be able to like fly on the fire.
Or
Human Torch, yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, where he can just fly.
No, I didn't want him to see. That's why I didn't say Human Torch, because I don't want him to fly. I want him to be able to ride the fire.
Okay.
Ride the fire.
Yes.
I just want him to fly like Human Torch or Firestorm. You know.
Yeah.
Somebody's always riding someone with something with you.
Sick.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, what did you guys think overall? Like, ignoring the Phoenix thing, because, like, again, a Phoenix Vesson would be awesome.
Yeah.
I think there may have been, like, logistical reasons why that wasn't.
Like money and graphical reasons. Probably.
Yeah.
You always hear that they're limited on their budget for special
Yeah,
effects.
well, I guess the non-budget thing that I was thinking was that it was the same guy, just for centuries, or at least the same Vesson, because the whole thing with the Phoenix is like it's the same bird,
Right.
More or less, like it dies. Then it perishes in flames and is reborn, and it's the same one. It's like it's like the Phoenix is an animal that doesn't need two parents. It just is reborn and continues on.
So you think that maybe the guy would have been like he continued to live?
I thought that would have been cool.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking when they dropped the Phoenix quote. And then there's a gentleman on fire,
Right. A naked gentleman on fire.
Hand underwear on.
I know, but he like deliberately took his clothes off, and I just want that noted that it's not in my head and that it didn't happen.
Yeah, I was like texting. Do you guys see this too? Right?
He does take his clothes
I'm
off.
not dreaming.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think of the ex-Candesco Vesson?
It's an interesting vest, and I think our actor looked like Dennis Leary and Willem Dafoe, which was nice.
Mixed together.
Yeah, mixed together, because they look alike, but so he looked like them as well, like their baby.
He's the missing link.
Yeah. But also, he had like 3 or 4 dimples, which was very distracting. Like, his face just dimpled. And so...
I'm surprised you were looking at his face whenever...
I would have, until later when we saw his beautiful abs. Oh, my goodness.
So that's what... I mean, so we met this guy, and he's, like, doing this little thing, and he lights himself out. He leaves his clothes, conveniently. But I guess he had a spare pair of underwear, because he was just going to let those go.
So... I don't, so that's, I was trying to wrap my head around, this sounds like it's just me being silly, but I actually was thinking about this, because he lights his hand on fire multiple times, and he's fully dressed, and his clothing doesn't catch fire. But when he walks through places, he has to be in just his underwear, and he leaves his clothing in the building he's setting on fire, right?
Yeah. But by the exit, so, like, that's his way out.
Okay, but fire spreads. Like, even though he's spreading it, it also will spread without him.
Yes.
So he's risking that he will then leave the building and only have nothing because his underwear will burn.
He should leave his clothes outside in a getaway car.
Thank you.
That's what Yael's saying.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to do it...
What I'm saying is he, like, leaves it by the exit.
But he starts by the exit as well.
Because if you leave a building and you're butt naked, like, you're going to attract a lot more attention than if you're just wearing clothes.
Right, but he takes his clothes off. We got on a tangent, I'm sorry. He takes his clothes off, right? And then he wanders around, right? So now everything's burning, and it could burn his clothing because he left it in the building. And even though he's trying to leave
It's flame-resistant clothing. Flame-resistant underwear.
Okay, I'm done.
No, I mean, like, it's fair. I mean, logistically, it's because it's network television. And, like, you could start blocking everything, but that starts complicating shots and whatnot. It's easier to just have him walking in his underwear.
Yeah, you just gotta go with it.
That's not what I'm complaining about. I'm complaining about him leaving his clothes inside the burning building.
I think he like walked in far enough that he like started the fire and like made his route back towards his clothes, and then grabs them, and before the fire can really explode the place, he's out. He's out without being naked outside, where people are like, "There's a naked guy over there."
Maybe he lost his clothing in the fire. Anyway.
There's some chat. There's some people in the chat roll.
Who are mad at me, I'm sorry.
They're mad at you. They feel like you're betraying Meisner because you're fawning over this new guy.
Oh my gosh.
No. And let me tell you, all right, because they brought it up. I was gonna wait till later because we bring back Orson, the other cop.
Yeah.
And we've brought back so many characters in the last half season.
Yeah, and that's great because they have this diverse cast, and something that a lot of shows, I don't necessarily want to point fingers anymore, Sleepy Hollow, have great characters that they forget about and leave by the wayside.
And so they're just bringing all these people back, and therefore I predict...
Oh, boy.
And I stand by it based on the facts that we have seen up until this point. Meisner is coming back. As soon as I saw Orson, I was like, Meisner's coming back. That's happening. There's no way he's not.
When they bring him back, they're going to kill him.
How dare you?
I mean...
Get the
all right.
You gotta go, guys.
Guys, I think you're right. I think there's a good chance that Meisner comes back. It seems reasonable because my thing, yes, they mentioned him. That's a good, absolute building block. Not even that they are mentioning other characters, or bringing back. But like not even that. But the fact is, like what we're building towards here. To me, because we're building towards Kelly and Diana coming back into the fold, Meisner being such an integral part of that storyline, the drama surrounding it, and like the drama of somebody questioning Adeline's like motives here, because Meisner is like on the side of right usually, and like if he sees her trying to hurt somebody, she may pull back. There's a lot of very intriguing possibilities.
Yeah.
And that's why I think there's a good chance, because the writing is setting it up properly.
Yeah.
Not just because it's a fun character.
Did you guys see in the flashback to the Bauerschwein guy back how little Nick looked?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
young.
Yeah, so let's talk about Orson here, because Orson was a Bauerschwein who worked in the police department. This was first season, I believe.
Was it first season?
Was it first or second?
I feel like it was
I should have
second.
written that down.
That's okay. There's someone in the
So in chat roll, let us know, because we are. The people are just asking for trouble to come back. As we're talking about characters coming back. But so Orson was an older character who, like, it was one episode arc for him. Like, he showed up. We discovered that he was a Bauerschwein, bit of a stereotype. Pig working in the police department. I mean, there's been at least two.
Yeah.
The other guy.
Wasn't he a different type of pig, or was he also Bauerschwein?
No, there was another Bauerschwein.
Okay. The
hate
Hitler
group
Youth
guy. Yeah, exactly.
The Hitler Youth guy. I thought he was a different type of pig for some
guy
reason.
with
No, they were both Bauerschwein.
Okay.
Yes. But anyway, yeah, we did get that nice little flashback to remind us, and like it really is weird to look at.
I was like, whoa, he looks so different.
He looks like 21, like just out of the police academy.
He has the hair is like very like smoothed down, and he looks so innocent, you guys.
Yeah.
Before the world hardened him by murdering people all around him every week.
And almost killing him and giving him crazy zombie powers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was vindicated. Boo69B says Orson was in the first season.
Whatever, my bad.
I remembered right.
Always take my side.
That's your new best friend, though.
Yeah, she should always take my side.
But yeah, so I did like having him back. But what do you guys think about how he worked in this episode? Because he wasn't much how we're talking about Miser being integral to that storyline.
Right.
Orson, like, you could have gotten on without him.
Well, I mean, he's the one who kind of put it together for them in a way. He had seen this guy before. He knew that, he knew that he had been searching for someone who was starting fires. And so he kind of put them on the right direction. And also he kind of figured it out. And I think that I liked him there, and I liked that at the end when they finally are getting against Barso, the fire starter guy. Orson comes out, kind of like no, I didn't run away. I'm still here, even though you guys let me go. Like, I'm a good guy, and I feel like maybe that's setting up for he might get released from jail at some point.
Did they strike some kind of deal with him?
No, they're gonna like put in a good word at his parole hearings, because I mean that's the way it works with anyone. Anytime you assist in an active investigation, is that if you're gonna help the police, they'll help you out, but you're still being punished for murder.
Right.
This is not like he robbed a bank and they can be like, okay, you've learned your lesson, you've helped us out, we're gonna like let you out on parole.
But if he has a parole hearing,
he will have a parole hearing at some point.
that means that there is a chance that he will actually get out.
Yeah, and there is. I think, and that is something I think they set it up so that they could bring him back. But I don't think they're in any rush to. But what I thought was very interesting about Orson's storyline is that when you play that episode against where we are now, it was, at the time, it felt very clear cut. Like, yeah, this guy killed Hap. Like, really nice. Like, granted, he was like a little violent, but like he killed like someone that we liked. Put him in jail. Yes, it was a revenge thing.
Right.
But kill him. Like, don't kill him, but like put him away. I think, but now play that same circumstance against the current Nick, and Nick sort of deals with this in the episode. Would he have handled it the same way? Because like intervessin turmoil, he sort of turns police-wise a blind eye on, because like the Bauerschwein Blutbot like battle is like centuries old, so they're sort of just like born into this thing, sort of against their will.
It all happened when 3 Bauerschwein tried to build a house one time.
And a Blutbot was like, no.
I was gonna build a house there.
All right, guys. I really thought that when we saw Orson and Monroe kind of argue, I really expected Nick to like throw down the Grimm card. You know what I mean? Like, I thought he'd be like, no, we're working together. You shut your mouth. I'm a Grimm. You do what I say. And I really thought he would have, because I think that would have taken us to a whole different place, because he's never played that card. He has never been like, I know what's right and I'm in charge. And I kind of wanted him to.
Or it doesn't even matter.
To say, you mean in terms of like saying, like, I'm the Grimm, so listen to me?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he does sort of, but that's more just that, like, he has, like, he more just takes charge of the moment.
Right.
I don't think
I feel like it's implied. Because, like, when he separates them and he's like, stop, listen, you know, they're kind of, they know.
I kind of wish narratively he would have said it, because I think that would take us to a whole different place. I think it's something we've never explored, is how these people feel about the fact that he, you know, comes in there. He is nice to them. He is their friend. He does ask for help, but you know, he also comes from a lineage of people that behead their people.
Yep.
Like, that would be such an interesting different dynamic to explore.
Yeah, I don't know that he needs to pull the Grimm, because the thing is, because he's so comparatively to most Grimms his age, new to this world, I think Nick even still has a sort of sense of like, I'm still learning this world. I'm still an outsider coming into it. Like, he's constantly discovering new things about it he didn't know, or things he didn't understand, or like finds out things he thought he did understand. He has no idea about. So I feel like if anybody he constantly has to ask Monroe and Rosalie, like, what does this mean?
Right.
So it's kind of hard to pull I'm the one in charge, like, I'm a Grimm, listen to me, when at the same time he's sort of semi-pro.
It'd be cool if he could, like, vogue in his own way. Like, if he could turn on those black eyes whenever he wanted.
That would be awesome.
to put it in effect, like, I'm the Grimm. Kind of go into, like, a Batman mode. Swear to me.
I mean,
his eyes just...
effectively, he does. He just, the only way to do it is to scare the other person into voguing. Like, you scare them, and then he's like, look at the infinite pools of darkness within my eyes.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. But yeah, so and then so we go through the episode, and one of the other the whole, we could spend like time recapping, but I won't waste everybody's time about like the rest of the stuff around the Excandesco and like the fire starter stuff and the insurance. Well, it was interesting. It was a good storyline. It kept me absolutely glued on the screen.
I mean, it was most of the episode was a straight up story, and I was like, what? We usually have all this other stuff that we need to talk about. We need to get to the beast fight. What
a sad life. This guy's like this legendary invested, like very powerful invested terms. You know, most of them can just turn into an animal, and that's about it. This guy can set himself on fire and just walk around and burn everything, and he goes around committing insurance fraud.
Hey man, that's good money in insurance fraud.
Yeah, he's like a hitman, but a fire starter.
Yeah,
like that's awesome.
But also, like, he probably just doesn't want to kill people.
Wait, like what?
I don't know. There has to be something better out there.
He goes to camping grounds and helps people. What do you think
he could be really awesome good at barbecue?
I'm sure he's great at barbecue.
He could own his own like barbecue restaurant.
He should invite me over for barbecue.
I don't know, Yael. Don't fly too close to the sun, if you will.
It's getting hot in here.
You never know what's going to happen. You're like, what if he vogues when he gets too excited? I'm going to let you play the rest of that out.
Sounds very painful.
Yes. 3rd-degree burns.
Because we've had that discussion on this podcast before.
Yeah, that's true.
About like when people vogue.
Right.
So,
I was in the chat.
Depending on the answer, that could be very dangerous.
Does that mean he has the saddest life ever? Because he can't?
I mean, there are a lot of superheroes that have the same problem. So.
Poor Excandescos.
I disagree. I feel like Johnny Storm doesn't. Am I going too far off topic?
Johnny Storm. Johnny Storm, maybe.
I'm gonna bring it back. I did like while we're talking about him. Yeah, I loved how they explained his how his power works. This was like science nerd in me, like lit up with the fun, because like it's like, oh, the body, normal human body has 1% white phosphorus just within it. White phosphorus being what makes up a match. This guy just has more of it and can excrete it.
Yeah.
And then he just like lights himself on fire that way. Really cool explanation.
Yeah.
Like similar, I really enjoyed the cones in the eyes thing. It's like, it's such a tiny thing, but the explanation, like any kind of explanation we can get as to how this all functions in reality, in the reality of the show, I enjoy.
Yeah. I prefer when they go science-y, y-and-c. I prefer that. I can accept that. But I liked at the end when Wu was trying to figure out how to explain what happened, and they were like, well, he spontaneously combust. And Wu suggests that perhaps he had a bomb.
Maybe he had a homemade bomb.
Yeah.
Yes.
We like the bomb.
Good job, Wu.
I was like, this is Wu's. Like,
yeah, that's where Wu should be.
He excels at explaining it to people who won't understand it. Because he's, up until this point has been like, oh, I just thought I saw that.
Yeah.
So he's full of these like, oh, that could be explained by this. And I like it. I want Wu to do that. I want him to explain things.
Wu's the guy that makes up excuses for humans.
Yeah. He's the guy who works with Superman. And they're like, where's Clark Kent? Let me tell you.
Well, I loved when Nick had to go to the trailer because he needed to get information on the X-Candesco, and Wu's just there. Instead, you don't go to Wikipedia, you go to Woopedia.
Woopedia. That's
Woopedia, or the Wooktionary.
The Wooktionary.
Because he's just like, because honestly, like,
the Wookie!
He went and read these books just to get it.
Yeah.
He's like, this is probably important stuff to read because we deal with it every day.
Maybe Wu's gonna be the smart one who goes, you know what we should do is put these on a computer.
Somebody put it on a computer.
So that we can search.
I feel like the problem with that is you put it on a computer, now it's online. And now someone ever gets into it.
Keep it internal. You don't have to hook it up to the internet. Keep it in the trailer.
Keep it in the trailer?
Get an air-gapped computer.
But how does that help you when you're out in the field? Okay. You still got to go back to the trailer.
Doesn't matter. Still, then once you get there, you're just like fire breathing. And all of a sudden, boom, like four vests and pop up.
They're going to have to hire a
fire breathing.
Yeah, we had the lava one.
And we had the
dragon.
Yeah, the dragon guy.
But see, like, fire. Okay, here are all your options.
Yeah, and it's just like right there.
Stab.
That's going to take a long time for someone to go and put in all that stuff.
Who's got the time?
And you're going to save lives with that time. So just do it. All right.
They're going to need a scanner.
We still have a lot more to talk about. We still have the beast fight.
Boring day.
We still have to get through the X-Candesco storyline, you guys. Because like Monroe and Rosalie have a nice little arc in this. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
I'm ready.
I mean, I thought it was it's very sweet. Of course, Monroe's going to be angry that this guy's being let out of jail for any reason.
Yeah, especially when he was brought into his shop.
Yeah, he was brought into like not his home, but like might as well be.
Yeah.
And he was confronted. He was like surprised with it too. Unfortunate.
I do like Rosalie. Just left shelf, bottom, top right, and you're like, dang, she's got this whole story memorized.
I wrote Rosalie the science guy.
Yeah.
Like she's just like taking over. It's like boom, you there, you there, you there, you there. Okay, mix.
I also really liked when she was talking to Monroe and was like, it doesn't matter. We're talking about 2 dead kids. Like that's what we're working on here. You need to put this other BS aside. And there's been so much hate, and she's always had the like head on her shoulders, and they're so cute together. And like, I want to ship them, but they're already together.
They're already shipped.
Yeah, I ship Rosalie, but that's already a thing. Oh, I'm a little late.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But so like the other, that was a great storyline. I honestly don't have much to say because it was just good. Yeah. It was just quality. But the one thing that stood out to me that was just, I was like hysterical at this point, is when they come up with the concoction. They're going to defeat the guy, and they just take out 4 giant super soakers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
You know what's
good.
funny is I've seen many shows where they've talked about like where they've had to use some kind of liquid for something, and I'm always like, why don't they just put it in a water gun? No one ever just puts it in a water gun. They did, and I was like, okay, good job, Grimm people. Makes sense.
The best moment though was at the end when he like walks into the trailer holding the super soaker, opens up the weapons closet with like maces and crossbows and like specially designed things. And he just there's this like proud smile on his face too, because this is his first contribution to the weapons closet, and it's a super soaker.
That's right.
I feel like
Welcome to 2015.
we don't get to see him, but I feel like he has to add to the book. He's found a solution.
We've seen him do it before.
But I feel like we don't see it enough, and that's so exciting.
Remember when he got his Grimm powers, he became an expert artist. Remember, now he can draw really good.
Right, but like he's adding, the solution to this problem, which they hadn't had, which I love.
We could do with a sort of reminder that he does it, because we have seen him, so it's like implied that he's doing it. But you're right. I think it would be nice to see a reminder, like in an episode where he defeats something midway, which happens occasionally.
Yeah.
We can see, like, catch up with him, like dealing with something else while he's in the trailer writing out.
Have we
like,
seen Nick like take on a Vesson that wasn't in the book? Like a new Vesson that like wasn't discovered yet?
I want to say yes.
I feel like yes, but now I can't remember.
I mean, I can't give an example because it's just like to remember, like, we didn't go to the trailer is tough. But like, I'm pretty sure there are times where he definitely has to go to Monroe and Rosalie because he can't find it, and then they're able to help track it down and figure out what it is.
Because it'd be cool if we saw a couple of those every now and then, so that we could see him like writing in the book.
I mean, I don't think the golem.
Right.
The golem.
No, the golem.
Golem.
Right.
Okay, I just remember you correcting me a lot.
It's not from
the
Lord
golem.
of the Rings. It's
The golem. I don't think that was in the book, if I remember correctly. But that also technically wasn't a Vesson.
Right.
He was one of those legendary ones.
Yeah. Either way.
Like the Vulcanus.
I believe he has not found stuff in there, but either way.
I feel like there's one that he went to, and I remember Monroe reading it in a book in their house, in Monroe's house. I remember that. That is all.
I was scrolling through the Grimm wiki earlier, looking at all the Vesson. We've seen a lot of Vesson.
Yeah.
I want to see that crazy blue alien type again. Remember that guy?
I hated that guy.
I thought he was crazy. I want to see him again.
I was stupid.
That was great.
He wasn't an alien.
I know he wasn't an alien.
So, guys, I want to take a minute before we talk about all the stuff that we have to talk about left. Like, we still have to talk about the Beast fight.
Yeah.
We still have to talk about Adeline and Victor. We have to talk about Renard and Sam and all that stuff that's going on. But, and I apologize to those of you watching on YouTube that I'm not looking at you, but I want to talk to you guys about iTunes before we talk about all that stuff. Because you guys are the best. We do this podcast. This is one of my favorite shows to do here at AfterBuzz because you guys, you fans, you listeners, make it the best. You make our day. Every time I get a tweet from one of you guys, every time I read a new review from one of you guys.
I also appreciate when they don't get mad at me for saying stupid, smutty things.
Oh no, they love it. Yeah.
The people that do get mad at you,
Yeah, it's all the other shit.
we don't like those people.
But yeah, so it really does mean the world to us, and so we want to give you guys some shout outs.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, who do we have this week? Cammy Vamp, Spot On Podcast. This podcast rocks. The predictions are so much fun to hear. And the hosts always pick up on things that are easy to miss. I think the keys are going to be a way to make soldiers for the original royal families. We were thinking like a creation of Vesson thing.
Yeah, but that's great.
Or a way to control the Grimm, like a mind control or something.
Nice.
The show needs to do more zombie Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's a great prediction.
Those are both really
Quality.
Mind blown.
mind control.
Techno Griffin, big fan of the show, says Yael's smutting is one of the reasons I watch this after show.
There you go.
So yeah, thank you guys so much. It really does make a big difference. It's how we help get the guests that we've had on here. That's how we've been lucky enough to have Bree Turner and Claire Coffey, among others, and we can get more.
There were others.
There were others, and they were great. But like those, yes. And that's how we're working on more, but we need your guys' help to make this the best Grimm podcast. We want to be the #1 Grimm podcast, and also just helps everyone here at AfterBuzz get their guests and get sponsors to keep the lights on and keep this coming to you for free. So with that, let's get into the beast fight. Because Juliet in this, like, is just sort of like, she's coming down from battling last week where she killed a guy.
The Manticore.
Was that her first kill?
No, she shot that guy.
Yeah.
Whenever they were doing the KKK stuff.
At the Wessenrhein.
You're right.
Yeah. I feel like she killed someone before.
Yeah, I feel like she must have killed somebody.
Yeah, I feel like she probably killed.
Because every single time she kills someone, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. She's like,
I mean, she definitely fought during the zombies and whatnots. So there's no way that, like,
she probably killed someone.
Yeah, I mean, because at this point, it would be weird if now it affects her. Because, like, girl, you've been murdering people left and right. Like,
she is a vet, you know. She probably had to put some animals down.
Yeah, so she just probably thinks of them like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that animal down.
Yeah, sorry, Fluffy.
I mean, they are her friends at this point. But so we finally get. Well, let's talk about both of them together, because we get Adelind in this episode. Finally, she's like, let me go get Juliet.
Yeah.
Like, let me at her. Like, I want my baby back.
Victor's like, baby back, baby.
Yeah.
Victor's just like, no. Diplomacy.
He's right. Like, not diplomacy specifically, but he's right that, like, you make a plan. Like, do it.
Right.
Think this through. Because what happens when she rushed in?
Trouble.
Trouble wasn't there.
I know.
She got her ass kicked. Like, her ass was kicked. It was so good.
In the beast fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The greatest fight ever.
So Juliet is a stronger, right? Is that the deal?
That's what basically we're hearing, is that
she's some kind of crazy.
Because she was a created Hexen beast as opposed to a naturally born one.
Well, I think because she's got some Grimm juices in her. Just saying.
I don't think that has anything to do with it,
Yeah,
because technically Adelind does too.
But she was created with Grimm.
I don't think it has any. I don't think it matters how that was done, because I think basically what they imply is that there are multiple ways that somebody can become a Hexen beast. This is one of them, and the idea is that when you become a Hexen beast, for whatever reason, that is just much more powerful than being a natural born one. I think, and we were talking about this with somebody on Twitter. I think it's because combining human and Hexen beast are now two things. Those are two different.
Oh, like we talked about the two Vessen mixing.
Yeah, and a Hexen beast is just a Hexen beast, and a human is a human. It's a totally different thing.
Right.
A Hexen beast is not a human plus a Hexen beast. Juliet is a human plus Hexen beast. And, like, yes, humans don't have, like, regular power, like any particular powers or anything.
What?
But
We don't?
But combine those two things, and it becomes just like this explosion of crazy Hexen beast powers.
I could see that. I understand what you're saying. I know that up until now and this place, I feel like witches, for example, to go to like The Craft as an example, or there was that show on CW, The Secret Circle. A natural born witch is always more powerful than someone.
That's the thing I was thinking.
Mr. Goku Jr. 2012. She's like Gohan.
Yeah,
which is absolutely accurate if you understand that reference.
I do not.
That's Tari made that reference a couple of shows ago, and I agree with him. Yeah. It's like the half Satan rage.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically she is very powerful. Just like basically how Adelind is. Yes, Adelind is able to. She goes in there like ready to attack, and she does not have any idea what she's getting into. She's ready to like hold Juliet at like she's like, I'm gonna witch knife knock you out and take you hostage. And Juliet just puts up her hand. No.
Yeah. The part where she throws all of the knives at. So good.
Don't you feel like though maybe that it's even stronger because of the whole crazy polyjuice potion and that crap, that whole ritual that went down? I feel like
Well, that's the thing. I'm sure that process is how it happened.
But that enhanced it. I feel like it had to enhance it.
Well, yeah. But
I'm sure there's another way to just roll in and make a Hexen Beast. I mean, I don't know how, and I'm sure it's not very common.
I think that's the thing is that
man and a woman love each other very much.
I mean, don't forget how complicated it was for Adeline to get her powers back. It was this incredibly intense where she had to murder people and take life force out of a bunch of flowers and
the rub the belly.
Yeah, rub the belly with blood and goo and stuff.
Gross.
Whatever process it is to become a Hexen Beast, I think is whether it's hooking up with somebody or straight up murder is dark and messy. So I think, but once we get there with Juliet, and the fight was awesome.
The fight was so badass.
The fight was awesome, but what I thought was even better for in my mind was when Nick came home, because when he comes in, I was like, "Oh, you better tell him."
Yeah.
You better tell. I think I was yelling at the TV.
Well, she had to.
But she's sitting there in that exact same pose. She's with her legs spread like a dude, just sipping on some scotch, man, what a day.
Yeah, and she had to.
Welcome home, honey.
But she was protecting herself. She destroyed the house.
The knives were awesome.
The knives were the best part.
Well, yeah.
Where she throws all of the knives at Adeline.
Yeah.
So good.
And Nick's looking at what the hell is that?
She was like, what? Oh, so good. It was just great. Sorry. Everything about it was so good. The fighting was amazing.
Well, I really like that, and I want to... we got a question in the chat roll. Let me pull it up from Bridget Shea Wardstone, who's... what we basically asking what we think of the direction the writers are taking Juliet in at this point.
I think
I want to know what you guys are thinking there.
Question.
I think I read something about Juliet having to deal with how she's now a bad guy, and I read that and thought, well, she's not a bad guy.
She chooses to be.
Yeah, she's just because she's Hexen Beast doesn't mean she's bad. Look at Monroe, look at all of them. So I think that it's an interesting way to go. I feel like I really believe that they're gonna come to terms with this faster than.
I don't. Nick is not. If they tried to make Nick super uncomfortable with her being a Hexen Beast, I wouldn't buy it because that's not Nick. Nick is completely accepting. He has a Bloop-bot best friend. It's totally fine. He's not bothered by Vesson. This is a little bit harder to swallow because it's the love of his life, who's just become a Vesson, and a particularly terrifying Vesson.
Yeah, but only when she vogues and
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I think that the drama, what I'm saying is that is not, I don't think, going to be an issue.
But it might cause some kind of trouble where Nick is just on this constant, we gotta fix you,
I think that's an one episode thing. I think he's gonna deal with that. It's because that's a thought process, but she's gonna tell him I tried that,
can't do it.
It's exactly the same when he lost his Grimm powers. When he was it's your decision what we're gonna do, and now it's they just took the story and flipped it.
Yeah, but what I think is where I think they're going with it, and why I think it's gonna be fun is I think what Juliet's gonna become, she's gonna just fully embrace this stuff until a point where it starts to get a little dark. Not that she's evil, not dark in that sense, but the idea that Juliet could be so enthralled with the idea of being this powerful Hexen Beast that she's going out and she's practicing on stuff and maybe gets into a little bit of trouble.
Kills people.
She's gonna get into trouble?
No. We can't lose the word trouble from our lexicon.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry at all.
She's gonna get herself into some bad situations because look, if she has that kind of power, she's gonna feel like she can just walk down any dark alley and to hell with the consequences. She can handle whatever. She just took apart Adeline without even batting of an eye. It took her 2 minutes to just destroy her. She killed one of the most badass manticores out there. This is a world-class assassin.
Right.
And she just took him apart in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Or what happens if she runs into another Grimm and they don't really know?
What if they what if she runs into Kelly and she vogues in front of Kelly before Nick has a chance to tell her about it? Kelly's gonna assume that this has been some long-term plot. Remember that she was telling Nick not to be attached. Like the whole thing with Kelly and Aunt Marie. They didn't think he should be. They're like, distance yourself from Juliet because it's only going to hurt more. If they're already suspicious of like his love life and it being a problem, if they find out she's a hexen beast.
Yeah, but I feel like Kelly is no longer going to have that stance, especially because she's raising.
The hexen
She's
baby?
raised well, that's true. She is raising a hexen baby.
Right. I feel like because people claim that babies change you or whatever.
Or whatever. I mean,
I don't know. I don't have any.
But she already had a baby. Like she.
Yeah, but what did she do with that baby? She gave it away.
Only when she had to. They raised him for like 8 years.
Yeah, but I mean, as we recall, wasn't it? There was like a thing about Anne Marie was his mom, or somebody's his mom, and that's not. Wasn't that a thing about who's the mom?
I don't remember that.
No, Kelly is his mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she was supposed to be dead.
Right, I remember that. I could have sworn there was a thing about if she wasn't his mom.
I think we had discussed a theory at one point.
That's possible.
But I think we put that to bed.
Okay.
So we start. The other thing that I wanted to make sure we talk about is the whole thing with Renard and Victor and Sam.
Yeah.
The dick.
Whatever. I'm sorry. Every time I see Sam, I go, "This means Meisner could come back."
He's totally playing both sides. Here's my question.
Yeah.
Is this a red herring? Is Sam going to Victor on Renard's orders?
Oh boy.
I'm super. It's happened before, so I'm like that kind of like trickery between these people. So I am instantly suspicious of anything that I see.
Which kind of double agent is he?
Who is he loyal to?
Is he a double agent or a triple agent?
Triple agent.
For those listening, that was I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I couldn't answer. I
don't care.
Either way, he's tracking down Mama Grimm.
Yeah. Either way, maybe he's in it for himself. Maybe he's part of the resistance.
What kind of vested is he?
We don't know. We also don't know that he is Vesson. Because let's not forget, like, Meisner is not Vesson. He's not Vesson. He's not royal. There are people involved in this world who are not.
Why would they hire someone who's not a Vesson to work for them? You know what? That's like, we're going to put you up against these crazy creatures that have all these powers. What are you, just a regular dude? You're in.
I mean, if you can hold your own, you can hold your own.
Yeah,
He certainly does.
Yeah,
So.
Meisner certainly does.
Also, there are certain people, like, they just need somebody who's a spy.
Yeah. Yeah.
In which case, like, this guy, like, if he's got an information network, it doesn't have to be a Vesson.
We need some kind of chameleon Vesson that can, like,
Haven't we gotten that?
No.
No? Okay. Let's work on that, Grim Riders.
There you go.
Let's work on that.
Chameleon Vesson blends
We're
into
making a
his
list of things
surroundings.
they need to work on.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
him some big buff guy for Yael, so he had to get naked and then blend in.
I love that idea so much.
Oh, my God.
Love that idea so
welcome.
much.
What's
Thank
happening?
You. Dylan's good to me? What do you mean what's happening? All right, can we get into predictions? There's something I need to talk about.
Okay, all right, yeah. I think that while we're trying to figure out if Sam is a double or triple agent, is the perfect time to get into predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Sorry to rush you into it, but there's stuff we need to talk about.
No, we're running low on time.
All right.
Let's get into it. What are you thinking, Yo?
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Did you guys see the promo? No.
No.
Okay.
No, my DVR cut it off.
Right.
Yeah,
Then
I got
everyone in
cut
the
off
chat
too.
rolls with me. Okay, so Nick goes to Henrietta and is like, "What did you tell her?" And she reveals that his options are live with it because it can't be changed, or kill her. Those are his options.
Oh.
Okay, so pretty much what we thought.
Okay, then Adeline goes to Henrietta and she reveals Adeline is pregnant with baby number 2.
What?
Now, here's the most important part.
Zach's gone, everybody.
Okay.
Show's over.
So here's the most important part about that, other than he just ruined his framing. That the reason Adeline is pregnant is because Claire Coffey, the actress, is pregnant.
Oh, there you go. That's right. That's right.
Claire's pregnant, so therefore they wrote it into the script. That said,
Who's baby daddy number 2?
Nick!
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that.
It has to be, right? Why would they drop a second baby?
I think that it will be revealed that maybe it is Victor's.
No way. Way
Well,
better if it was Nick.
I mean,
I will say that there is something to be said for the Royals really want a part royal, part hex and beast baby for whatever reason. Like there's something about that combination that's supposed to be no, but they have that in Renard. What is it about Diana that was so?
It's that she's royal blood.
It's just the royal part.
Yeah, they don't like that she's hex and beast.
Okay.
They just wanted that.
Because Renard's royal blood too.
Yes,
so
right. So Victor, as we know, is not against Renard. He
yes.
said everyone who was in the family that didn't like Renard because he was part hex and beast is gone now. So the only people left are people who don't care, in theory.
Okay.
So they want a royal baby.
So would this abate them then to have like another one? They're like, oh, we got another royal baby.
No, I think
all right, don't worry about the other one.
No, because the other one's even crazier because the other one was made during that crazy
super powerful
belly blood rub.
Yeah.
That said, I would like if Meisner's the daddy.
Oh my God.
They didn't hook up though on screen.
Well, I don't think
right.
Did she with Victor?
We didn't see that.
We didn't see that, and I don't think that they've really implied that.
I'm telling you, I bet it's Nick.
Also, that's like 3 guys in the same family.
Okay, wait. So here's the thing. First off, we don't judge her.
I'm not.
We don't judge
Nobody's
her.
judging.
That wasn't a judgment. That was a funny moment.
It was a judgment.
So she likes royals. Cool.
We'll
Who doesn't?
But I like the idea that if it's not Victor's, that she would do kind of what she did with the other guys. She will sleep with Victor so he thinks it's his.
Interesting.
Because that's something she would very much do.
Yeah, but I will just say, just based on like what would be the most interesting storyline, it's Nick's.
Oh yeah, it's probably Nick's.
And like, because it's honestly it's dull otherwise.
I mean, time-wise, I think he's the only one that makes sense.
But what are they gonna do? We're gonna have babies left and right on this show.
No, because I think she also slept with Renard again.
Right.
Not long after that.
Okay, so then it might be his.
It could be his, but I think it's going to be Nick's. It fits. It fits the timeline. It's too insane not to do if you're gonna do another pregnancy story with her. Like, yes, it's out of more of a need than a like want. If it's like they're like, okay, we're gonna have to deal with this. As a production note, like she's going to be pregnant.
Yeah,
she's going to be pregnant on screen. You can't always hide that stuff.
But if she got pregnant with Nick's baby while she was polyjuiced as Juliet, wouldn't it be Juliet's baby? Technically, biologically.
So it's gonna come out looking like Juliet?
Yeah, like Juliet and Nick. Biologically, it would be Juliet and Nick's baby, even though it's in Adeline, because Adeline was polyjuiced.
This was the reverse theory that we had when we were talking about what if Juliet got pregnant. This is before Juliet turned out to just have become a hexen beast, but we were like, oh, if she got pregnant as Adeline, it would be this little blonde hexen Grimm baby.
Well, so before we get into what it could be, I will say, to counterpoint your whole production issue, is Rosalie was pregnant when we got pregnant when we first met her, and they sent her away to take care of a sick aunt.
Yeah, and the complication of that was that they had to shoot 3 or 4 episodes of her stuff within a single week, which is a nightmare for production.
Yeah, but this explains this big old break we're taking in the middle. March disappeared.
No, they've already shot all
because
this
they would have shot this stuff months ago.
Yeah, all that stuff's shot and done.
But, okay. Anyway, I'm just saying that there are ways around her pregnancy. They didn't have to make the character pregnant, but that is why.
There are ways. It is very difficult. If they had if they had even an idea of a storyline that would fit it, they're like, let's just do it. That's going to make our lives a lot easier.
I don't know. I feel like maybe they even, because when did we find this out? This news of her being pregnant? Not too long ago.
No,
and they would have already filmed all these episodes.
It was announced not too long ago, but I don't know if you saw the tweet. She was pregnant when she came to visit us.
Yeah, that's true.
But they would have been filming this long enough ago. The hiatus is not that issue. Regardless, very interesting stuff. I'm so mad that we have to wait a month. Guys, if you aren't aware, I sadly have to, I don't want to be the one to break this to you, but Grimm is not going to be new until March 20th.
Yeah.
March 20th.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what I'm going to do, especially with that hanging over us for a month.
And if Meisner is not in that episode,
He will not be.
I know.
Deep breaths, people. Deep breaths. Okay.
Throwing a fit.
All right, guys. Well, any last thoughts before we wrap up here?
Meisner will come back before the end of the season. Better effing be back before the end of the season.
Great episode. I'm excited to see where we go. I'm excited for the serialized elements that we get from Juliet and Nick and Adeline and all the insanity, you guys. All the insanity.
It's too much.
Dillon Chance.
Hey.
Between now and March 20th.
Yeah.
Where can the people keep up with you?
So long, guys. You can find me on Twitter at Dillon Chance. I'm also here on Tuesdays for Star Wars Rebels. But we're on break this week, but we'll be back.
Awesome. You can find me online at yael.tv. That's yael.tv. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Google+, Pinterest, Polyvore, lots of other things at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And I'm here on AfterBuzz on other shows, which are all available on yael.tv.
And you guys can keep up with me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, ThatZachWilson. And also here at AfterBuzz on a whole bunch of shows. Tune into Better Call Saul this Monday. Tomorrow, we're going to have a special announcement about somebody that might be stopping by soon. It's going to be very fun. So yeah, guys, a bunch of other shows. Guys, I'm Zach Wilson. Thanks for geeking out with us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.